Hello everybody, welcome in. This is Exist in Love, and we're gonna do a twin flame check-in today on the collective. So I want to get started with some angel cards, the archangels, and I'm gonna pull 3 of these, and then I want to get into the twin flame reading. So then we're going to look at the masculine's energy, the feminine's, and the connection in regards to the past, present, future, and I'm sure it will become one harmonious storyline. So I've been meditating on the energy, and I just feel a lot shifting, and just to say before we get started, like when I refer to masculine and feminine energy, that ultimately is the feminine and the masculine energy within us, but it obviously does connect to the outside world, but trying to remember that the internal reflects the external. So the things that we're attracting ultimately are leading us deeper into ourselves. So, okay, one more and then I'll tell you what they are. Yeah, I do feel this like deepening and this needing to surrender already coming online. And it's like the more we can trust that surrender and the more we can lean into that surrender, the better off we will be in the end. So I asked for 3, but 4 came out, so I'm going to take it. This might be nice for all of us to know. We have on the bottom, all is well. Archangel Jeremiel. I'm not going to be able to say all of these correctly, and that's okay. But everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings you will soon understand. The other cards we pulled were You Know What to Do. Archangel Uriel, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Archangel Uriel is someone I also see, well, in this card reflects Hermit energy, like the Hermit card. So the deeper we go within ourselves and trust, the more like guided we will feel through our own internal compass, which should light the way forward, essentially. And Archangel Uriel is also known to help us manifest things into our reality. So he could be coming up for you to call upon him for divine assistance in terms of bringing your manifestations into the physical reality. Clairaudience. Archangel Zachiel. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Clairaudience. So yeah, the photos on these are really beautiful too. Clairsentience. Archangel Raguel. Notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So yeah, I feel like it's, and crystal clear intentions also came out. Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. Yes. Okay. So overall, the energy I'm picking up on is like spirit is guiding us as a collective to deepen our connection with ourselves, to listen to the loving guidance we're hearing inside our mind or from other people, noticing that positivity in all the small moments and being able to pick up on when the universe is sending us signs, and allowing ourselves to trust our inner knowings, I think, is the biggest message here. Of, like, for instance, this card saying recurring physical and emotional feelings. So there could be, in the collective of Twin Flame right now, there could be recurring like emotions, feelings coming up, and it's like you're being asked to really allow those emotions and feelings to come up and hold them with so much love. And allowing those quiet moments with yourself, like allowing the pain to come up and being able to like hold yourself through that. And I actually wrote a poem earlier that kind of talks about what I'm trying to get across, so I'm just gonna read that. Yeah, this came through during a meditation earlier. So yeah, I am just picking up on like this is really a time for the collective in general to continue to really trust themselves and to continue to move down the path and get really clear on what it is that they want and continue to move forward towards those things, just with clear intentions and asking for help, and listening to the feelings inside you and honoring them and being gentle with yourself. Okay, this little poem. It's called Silence. A love letter, a pause, an opportunity to go deeper, to sit with the fear, to sit with the sadness, to allow your heart to open deeper, to honor the wounds and surrender, to allow them to slow your speed and steady your pace, to hold your own heart while the pain of yesterday finds softness in your arms. It's in the silence, the turmoil where you remember. So, as that relates to these 3 cards that we've pulled, 4 cards that we've pulled, again, just this repeated message of like allowing that silence not to create resistance, but kind of trying to lean into it. And that is a practice. It's never going to look perfect or feel perfect. It's just like the intention that you have and the baby steps that you take towards that intention is what matters. And continuing to allow things to come up, feeling them, holding yourself through them, and just continuing to move towards your goals with clear intentions. That was kind of hard to get out. Okay, let's keep going. Thanks for tagging along. Okay, so what do I want to do first? I want to go on the surface first. I'm going to use this deck to kind of just get an idea of what's going on right now, like on the surface of the Twin Flame journey. We're starting with the masculine energy, past, present, future. Okay, and then we're gonna look at the feminine's energy, and then I'll tell you what the cards are. Be patient with me. Okay. Past. Feminine energy, present. Ooh, I like it. This is kind of fun. Okay. Future. Oop, that's too many. We're gonna keep shuffling for a moment. Just one spirit. But yeah, I was feeling a lot of like almost friction, tension inside before starting this reading during like even the meditation, though the meditation did help me ground the energy. But yeah, just like trying your best to lean into that and work with it rather than having it work against you, so you can keep moving along on your way. Okay, and the future of this connection, or the connection itself. Past, we have, okay, wait, I'll tell you in a second. Let's get them all laid out first. Present, okay, interesting. And the future. Okay. We have 4 swords on the bottom of the deck for the overall energy. I'm gonna read this out to you, and then I'm gonna do the exact spread over it with this Day of the Dead deck to look kind of more on what's going on in the unconscious. Or like what's happening behind the scenes, I should say. So for the masculine in the past, we have the Queen of Cups, the World card, and this 5 of Wands. So I get this sense that in the past, there could have been the feminine could have offered a cup. Okay, sorry, I just had to pause for a moment, but before I read you what's going on the surface part, I'm going to lay out what's hidden underneath, but I will tell you, for the masculine, we have the Queen of Cups, the World card, and the 5 of Wands in the present moment on the surface of the connection. And let's see what's going on underneath the surface for the masculine, and then we'll keep going. So in the past, we have the King of Wands in reverse. In the present, we have the 4 of Swords. Okay. And in the future, we have the Sun card. Okay. And Strength on the bottom. Okay, so in the past, we have, for the masculine, sorry if I'm getting a little heady there, we had that Queen of Cups, and what's kind of going on under the surface was this King of Wands in reverse. So there could have been an offer from the feminine, but the masculine energy didn't feel or wasn't in the position to meet that offer, so there's like a lack of alignment there. And in the present of the connection with the masculine, we have that World card and the 4 of Swords. So I feel like the masculine is in this period of closing out old chapters with that World card and reflecting on the past, of how maybe this dynamic played out between the feminine and the masculine in the past. And in the present, with what's going on underneath that 4 of Swords, it's like the masculine is, again, reflecting on the past, but also like really doing some healing work, and really like closing up that old chapter and putting it to rest. With that 4 of Swords, there could be a lot of pain that needed to be addressed with this old life being let go of. But yeah, I get this like very like healing energy, like this like sacred pause moment, which is really good, a good feeling. And in the future we have this Five of Wands in reverse, what's going on the surface, this like inner conflict happening. But underneath is the Sun card. So I feel like the masculine is moving in a positive direction. Ultimately, though they might be having like an internal battle about this. Wow, we have the Strength card, the Chariot, and the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom, so that's very positive. And that Four of Swords was the overall energy, so I think a lot of healing needs to take place in this connection. Okay. And again, this could even be your connection to yourself. So maybe, like, if we're talking about just like our inner union, this could look like wanting to move forward and take action, and maybe having like a lot of creativity come to the surface, but not knowing exactly how to take action. And first needing to close out some old cycles and put some healing, put some effort into healing and moving on from some things, and being able to sit with inner conflict so that eventually you can get to this Sun card where you're like able to fully embrace your truth, how you feel, and move in a more positive direction. So when it comes to the feminine, we have that Knight of Cups, that Seven of Wands, and the Magician card. So really positive. I want to see what's going on underneath the surface for the feminine. Okay, so we got the Page of Swords, the Two of Cups in reverse, and that Magician card. Let's see what that one is. The Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So someone could have offered the feminine a cup in the past, or the feminine could have offered a cup in the past, but like almost in like a naivete energy where they might not have been ready to even offer the cup that they did. With that Page of Swords on the bottom, or underneath, what's going on underneath the Page of Swords in reverse. I get this again, like energy of like, in order to access like the bloom and this blossom, I think there had to be this like exchange of naivete, like learning. Because do you see this Page of Swords with that pen? It feels like this energy of reversal too, like, and we're in this Mercury retrograde of like kind of needing to like go through something that seems like a setback so that you can now in the present moment, like with this Seven of Wands and Two of Cups. So in the present moment, like the feminine is creating boundaries and like protecting themselves, and like I feel like it's because of whatever happened in the past. There's like this rewriting of the story and like understanding like who you are on a deeper level, and then being able to like lead by example, if that makes sense. And I don't know why, but right now I'm getting this feeling like it kind of reminds me of the Fool card with their like foot up in the air like that. So I'm getting this feeling like the feminine might be new at having to navigate the world like with more self-protection and more self-love and like more healthy boundaries to like protect one's peace. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But with that energy, it's like being new at it, but like being confident in your choices. Like you're no longer allowing yourself to give your energy to things that like don't align with that crystal clear intention of like what you truly desire. Okay. And in the future, you have the Magician card and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So, I feel like whatever you're walking away from, it could be like a lack mindset, even. I want to pull one more card on that. What is this Five of Pentacles representing? Okay, so the Tower in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there's this level of like letting go of, it's very positive, letting go of ways of kind of showing up in the world that don't align with like this magician energy that you actually are. No longer accepting less than you deserve, understanding your worth and value, like letting go of like lack mentalities. And while you're doing this, ultimately that's going to shift the energy from within. And when we shift our energy from within and we start to like treat ourselves with more self-love, we start to attract like what's truly in alignment with us, and things become more clear the more and more we do this, and the more and more we trust that path to open as we walk. And there's like this deep need to surrender and trust the process, I think, on both sides. And there is this mirroring happening between the feminine and the masculine. It's like in the past there were offers made, neither one really had the ability to like meet in a clear alignment in the past, and now there's like this healing happening on both sides where both people are, or this could be the two sides of yourself too, like from both ends, like on the masculine side, like healing the past, letting go of what's not serving us, and then on the feminine side, creating loving boundaries to protect ourselves, and so that we can interact with others in a way that's like loving to them too. Because if we don't have boundaries for ourselves, then we're not able to also respect other people's boundaries clearly, and like connect in a way that's like nourishing for both parties. Okay. In the future, sorry, I'm just checking the time. Yeah, with that Magician card. So I feel like the feminine is just stepping into their power and continuing to grow and shine the light. And so is the masculine in a different way. So let's pull one card on just this Magician card. The Four of Wands. And we have the Four of Wands in the future, or in the present of the connection too. So yeah, the more the feminine heals, I feel like it's just like helping each other heal. So that's really beautiful. In the past, ooh, I'm getting a ringing in my ear. feels like a sign. That's important. Okay, anywho. In the past, we had the Five of Swords. So, and this is happening in the connection, so both of you. Both of you could have not seen the importance of this connection or the depth of this connection. Let me dig into this a little more. Five of Swords. You could have mirrored a behavior back to each other of like, ooh, the Star card, healing. One more, please, on that Star card. The Nine of Wands in reverse. Yes, so I do want to just say one more thing about this present energy with the feminine. With that Two of Cups in reverse, like this is clearly showing you what I was talking about. Like the feminine is not, like, on the outside you're seeing this, but it's because she's not willing to accept the Two of Cups in reverse. Like not willing to accept what's not like in alignment with like what won't be nourishing for either parties, truly. Any situations that aren't gonna truly be nourishing to both people. Beautiful energy. But in the past, with that Five of Swords, and we have that Star card and that Nine of Wands in reverse. Such a powerful deck, isn't it? Yeah, I feel like the Five of Swords, it's like this happened. It's like you needed this conflict to happen to release the burdens of the past and heal on a deeper level. So ultimately, like, all of that energy is leading to healing. How beautiful. How everything is. Most things, I would say, at least. Even the hardest things in life can bring healing. Transmuting pain into light. So what's going on underneath in the present moment of the connection? We have that Four of Wands on the surface. So that's really interesting. Because it's like in the present moment of the connection, technically, like right now it feels like both the masculine and feminine are in separation with that Seven of Wands from the feminine and that that World card and that Four of Swords for the masculine. It feels like in the 3D connection it's in separation, but then in the connection we have this Four of Wands. So there could be a very strong like telepathic connection or just like deep knowing of like there's union in the 5D. Because that's where this connection presently stands. And we have this Three of Wands. So I feel like underneath the surface, I feel like on the surface there is this deep knowing in the present moment of the importance of this connection, and there's like this like remembrance almost. And then we have that Three of Wands, which is like passion and learning and healing and growing happening because of this 5D union. So for me, for instance, I feel like because once we step into that inner union, we can then bring that inner union into the external. And I feel like, yeah, that's what's happening. there's this like inner union happening because there are like loving boundaries being set and healing taking place in the 3D, that it's like creating this deeper sense of union within each individual, whether you're looking just at yourself or a relationship. That got a little heady, so I hope you followed along and got the message there in the end, because yeah, that message there at the end was the message. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords in the future. So there could be movement in the future, but it's still the Knight, so let's pull some cards on that with what's going on underneath the surface. The Hierophant in reverse, Judgment. Okay, interesting. With this Hierophant in reverse, I'm getting this feeling of releasing old ways of thinking about relationships. The Hierophant represents like upright, like traditional relationships, and it could represent like organized religion and things along those lines, like things that we're born into, and like the way that like our upbringing or our environments led us to believe like this is the way relationships work. And I think oftentimes when we step into relationships, those relationships can repeat the same patterns. And if you're on the twin flame journey, you could find that like over time, as you step deeper and deeper into your healing, like you learn, well, of course, right, in life, but like you learn so much about relationships and how oftentimes they look very different from our childhood. And all this deep, like on a like soul level, like DNA, you're like you're literally like shifting timelines in terms of like releasing these old ways of showing up in relationships, these old ways of like literally everything you thought you knew about how to like connect with others. And like I feel like society often too, like especially when talking about the topics of twin flame or karmic relationships or plutonics, like there's a lot to be said in every direction, and it's like you have to trust your own soul when it comes to like your connections at the end of the day, and like trusting your own intuition and getting deeper and deeper into alignment with your center and your truth, so that you know day to day like how you need to move in a relationship. Because ultimately, like, protecting your peace, I think, is what's most important. And I think that's a really important thing to remember when you're on the twin flame journey. Not to say that let's not like pretend with toxic positivity or anything that this path can just be easy by like always protecting your peace. No, you have to like have experiences and move through things and trust yourself even through difficult situations, or even through like relationships that lasted too long or felt karmic in nature, or just like were draining, not like beating yourself up about those situations, because we need those experiences, right, for growth and learning. But at the same time, I think the more we grow through each situation rather than repeating the same cycles, we just continuously get clearer and clearer on what it is that we want and deserve. And just always like having a practice of like nothing is perfect, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Like this video, for instance, like as I'm recording, I'm like, oh, I wish that message came out a little smoother, and I wish this, but it's like, no, like things take their course and things will continue to develop over time. When I continue to do this channel, like the message will continue to become like more and more refined the more I'm doing it. So yeah, that was a huge download just about, yeah, everything I just said. Trusting the process and really letting go of old paradigms and healing. And yeah, I think there's gonna be, so to kind of just like pull us back into like the reading again, with that Knight of Swords and this Hierophant in reverse releasing these old paradigms, and with that Judgment card, it's like a deep awakening to, I think soul family could be coming in. I feel like there could be reunions happening, but I don't think it's anything to like with that Knight of Swords, just like slowing it down a little bit and trying to maintain those loving boundaries, even if you are connecting with other people. And Three of Pentacles, so like allowing things to grow, and giving them space to grow, I think is also what's allowing us as a collective to uproot anything that is holding us back from really growing the seeds that we want to grow. Yes. So on the bottom too, we had that Six of Cups, which can indicate like a coming back together, closing of cycles too. So it feels really positive. I kind of just want to pull one more card on this Judgment card. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. Okay, yeah, again, it's the same message. I really think we're stepping into awakening on a deep level in this twin flame path within ourselves, which is just beautiful. But again, with that Lover's card in reverse and the Two of Swords, it's literally like cutting away everything we knew about what we thought love was and allowing a whole new paradigm to come through that is gonna freaking blow everyone's socks off, and is what this life's about. It's about love, unconditional love for self, for others, while also protecting yourself first beyond anything else, so that you can be a light to this world and be nourishing to the people you love. Doing the hard things for the right reasons. Okay, so I'm going to close out this reading. I'm not going to do an extended on this. This was kind of like a random reading that I'm excited to share with everyone. But I'm just going to pull some ancestor cards to see what comes through for the collective. Let's do one for the masculine. There it is. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so the masculine is being reminded that there are angels and spirit guides all around them. The masculine is being reminded that they are surrounded by angels and spirit guides, whether you are a feminine, masculine, presenting person, or non-binary. You know yourself the most, so. But yeah, this is just a deep reminder that you are surrounded by your angels and your guides, and that you do have the ability to connect with the feminine through the upper world, through that's what this card says. But yeah, through your intuition, through your connection to the divine. So I feel like Spirit is just reminding you of that. And yeah, don't forget it. You're loved. Okay, let's look at the feminine. Beauty, autumn, the number 3. I feel like the feminine is really going through this like period of just flow, and like there's just like a really abundant energy around them that is really shining a light. And I feel like the feminine also with that autumn card, I feel like they're going through like the Phoenix rising kind of energy, related to like that time period. And I feel like there could be a deeper sense of transformation unfolding throughout the fall time as well. Interesting. And I pulled a card on the connection, and the divine feminine card came out. So I feel like everything I just said about the divine feminine is true. And this also makes me feel like, since I pulled this out for the connection, like the divine feminine is leading the way and is kind of like guiding this transformation. I'm gonna pull one more, just like as an overall. Soul retrieval. Middle world. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I feel like overall there's this deep, and that's what I was trying to explain earlier, and I was having a really hard time getting it out, but just this idea of like soul retrieval. I'm gonna read this one. I feel like there's this like shift happening in the collective where both the feminine and masculine energy within and external to you like is starting to shift. And I feel like specifically talking about oneself and within, like this energy is shifting to the point of you're remembering, like you're waking up and like you're really starting to like align with truth. And that's like what needs to happen. Like in the collective, for every freaking person out there, that needs to happen. We need to wake up and we need to step into our light and shine that light and heal for the world, for the collective, for, to me, like what is the point of this if not that, you know? Anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna read to you the card Soul Retrieval. You have attracted this card today as there's an opportunity to receive a soul retrieval healing. Throughout life, we all at some point experience a trauma that can create a fracture in our energy. Most people can look back at their life and pinpoint to an experience that shaped them differently and caused them to relate to life in a different way. When we experience a frightening event or a trauma, a piece of us, a positive aspect, is frozen and left in that time and place within the energy body. Healers and shamans work powerfully to heal these fractures using a process called soul retrieval. This is where they travel through timelines to the spirit world to retrieve this energy and bring it back into the physical and into the present moment, where this energy can heal the original fracture at a deep level. Do you feel like a part of you is missing? Do you have a memory or trauma that keeps raising its head? Do you feel unsettled as though you're in need of some healing? Now is the time to reconnect with positive energy that you had before the traumatic experience. So, overall, I just feel like, again, this relates back to the message I gave earlier about healing on a deep level, and I feel like that's kind of like the time frame that this collective is in right now, is like this sacred pause and this moment to really connect to oneself and heal on a deep level, so that we can release these parts of our inner child that we probably haven't had access to in a really long time. And yeah, I feel like you could have had a meeting with the flame too, if we're talking about a physical relationship, or you could have had, like, if you haven't met this individual in person, maybe you just connected deeper to your higher self, or connected to your twin on the spiritual level, like on the 5D level. Either way, I feel like there is this deep remembrance of self happening, and either seeing yourself or being seen by others in a way that, like, you're able to kind of notice the healing work that you've been doing. And if not, like, continuing to lean into that work and leaning into yourself and healing is going to allow you to bring all those parts back to yourself, to integrate them, and to step into who you're really meant to become. So, a lot of beautiful energy happening here. Very exciting. That was my first time doing a twin flame reading. It felt like a lot coming in at once in a way that was kind of hard to put into words. But I hope you connected, and I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will continue to do them. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Okay, bye.